Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speed Talk, episode 2, which I'm subtitling The Pain of an 1862. Although I don't really know how painful it is. But today I have...
Oh, it's pretty painful. Don't worry. That's
Yeah,
how it
okay.
works.
Alright, cool. Today I have Irene with me. She's a
Hello.
very, very good multi-Mario runner who I believe last weekend did an 1862. So yeah, you can, if you want to introduce yourself and also explain what an 1862 is, that would work.
All right, I'm Irene. I do multi-Mario speedruns. I play 6 different games. That'd be 64, or Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy 2, Super Mario 3D World, and Super Mario Odyssey. Y'all probably know a lot about Super Mario Odyssey and not a lot about the other 5, but I run all 6 of those games, and I also run all 6 of those games in one consecutive order. The 1862 is all 6 of those games 100%, except not really 100%, because for 3D World we do 380 stars, and for Odyssey we do all moons instead. But it's still a very, very long run. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, what is, also, well, first of all, how did it go last weekend? Because I didn't actually watch.
It was surprisingly very fun. It was surprisingly very
Nice.
fun. I had taken a TA break because I still don't have the stamina to do the whole thing, but I will get there
Yeah.
eventually. I do plan to do it a full one, completely sleepless one day. But but I did like the first day. I did all moons and like 3D World, and that part was really fun. Like like the VC was really funny, and like we were just having a good time. My times weren't like the greatest, but that's okay because like I mean I just wanted to do it that fun, and I PB by a
Yeah.
lot because I PB by a lot because my PBs in my or like my times in my old 1862 PB weren't like actual, just like really bad.
Yeah. What time did you get for the overall thing?
Um, I got a I got a 10:34 for all moons, which is a lot off my PB and probably like the worst run out of. No, actually, no, that's not the worst one. But it was pretty bad. Like my Odyssey was pretty bad, but it was also a derust because I never derusted before the whole thing happened. The last time I had done all moons was like March, so
Oh,
I was
yeah.
40 minutes off PB. Um, Oh, and also it's because of that stupid Koopa in Moon Kingdom. Because every single time I walk around the circle, it gives me 89 points and not 90
Dude,
points.
I hate that Koopa so much. I don't
It's
understand it. Like
it's so
I
awful.
swear that happened. I think I failed it twice in my almonds run. The first time I think the first time I got 100, which was insane. And then I got like an 87 like 2 times or something. And then one time the dog was coming back from the dog moon, and then I bounced
I
off the
had the
dog and it completely messed me up. It's
I had the dog troll me too.
Yeah, it's so that moon is genuinely one of the hardest in the game. It's crazy. Um,
It's just RNG. It just like you can even go around the circle good enough. Like like I swear I've done the same circle twice. One of them was 97, the other one was like 87. Like
yeah,
it's RNG. It's RNG.
I swear I've had a perfect circle before, and then it gave me like an 82, and I was like, what? Like it doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
like it just depends on if he likes you that day. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I'm convinced it's just RNG. But yeah, what is the order for the games actually? I don't
Okay,
even
so
know.
typically the order is like you start with 64, then Galaxy, then Sunshine, then Galaxy 2, then 3D World, then Odyssey.
Yeah.
But I started because I was doing this with integration with the 602 race, and I didn't want to do it after the 602 race. I started with all moons in 3D World, and then took
Okay.
my TA break, and then continued once the 602 race started.
Oh,
Which
that makes sense. Because then you can end like same spot as 602 ends. Did you
yeah,
try to like time it to where you started like the 602
no,
games when the 602
no
started?
that
No. Okay.
No, the TA break just like the gap between when I finished 3D World and when I started 602. A lot of people
Okay.
ask that. It's a fair question, like, but I like because I went to sleep after 3D World for like 5 hours, and then I did the 602, which was like another it was like another 24 hours.
Nice. What is the TA rules? Like what are how
So
long
like
can that go for?
I I didn't really I don't really use the TA break rules to the maximum. In fact, the
Yeah.
1862 is the only category I've ever used the TA break rules. But basically like you start with like 10 hours and then every 16 hours another 10 hours gets added. It's like the Odyssey TA
Okay.
break rules, but like a little more because
Yeah.
it's a lot longer.
Yeah.
Uh
Odyssey you get like 15 minutes and this you get 10 hours because obviously
yeah,
it's a lot longer.
yeah. And then it's like modified for other categories, but there's TA break rules for most of them.
Yeah. Okay. So how I guess how rewarding does it really get at the end of a
It
long
got
marathon
I
run?
mean, like entering World S Greens, which is like the last it's like the last stretch of the run. It's like when okay, so for an Odyssey standpoint, it's like when you enter like Mushroom 3 whenever doing all moons. Like
Yeah.
that's what it is. Entering World S Greens was like it was like my adrenaline was going up like a lot. Like it was like I started like going I started to it started to set in that it was going to be over soon, and I'd been doing this for the past 2 days, so it was really hype. But like I was also in VC and just like it was also getting like I had been VCing with most of these people for almost 24 hours, so I was also like a little tired. I was kind of just wanting to like just deafen and do the rest of the run, but I also wanted to have fun and crack jokes with my friends. So
Yeah.
we also like because most of my friend or like because all my friends in there had also been like doing that is like there were gonna there was a lot of molding on the other side or like a lot of like complaining from the VC, which is
Yeah.
completely fair. Like I don't it happens, and especially in a 602 when you're like that deep into a run, I don't blame you. I did that even, so I'm like it was although like it was really like I was just really hyped up towards the end. Like entering Grandmaster, which is the last level, like I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's going to be over soon." And I had a like the 1862 leaderboards are kind of like it's a little like they're like most people are literally just like an hour apart. Like they're like
Yeah.
that's just the leaderboard. There's most people an hour apart. Although I was entering Grandmaster with a possible time to beat like another run by like 4 minutes,
Oh
which
wow.
for which for 1862 is extremely close. You've been playing for 38 hours and you were this close to someone,
Yeah, that's
which
crazy.
kind of hyped me up and allowed me to lock in a bit more. And I played really well, I'd say.
Yeah, that's good. Um, yeah, the like even when I was doing like in my all moons run, like I was only doing with like VGR and Marco, but it definitely it can get hard in when you're in like a long run with like in a VC with people whenever anyone is complaining, even though like obviously I complained a lot too in the all moons run, but it's just like at some point it's just like at some points I was just like deafening so I could really focus on the gameplay because it's definitely a little bit hard even though it completely makes sense um to like lock in. I feel like when like whenever other people are talking, and also Marco, no offense to Marco talked constantly. He was awake as hell. It was insane. I was like how
Yeah, I know Marco too. Marco is also like he's able to do multi Mario runs. He doesn't really do them, but he does multi Mario runs, and he's like really good at the games that he does.
yeah, he's has a lot of energy. during
Yeah.
that all moons run. And I was me on the other hand, for some reason I started the all moons run, my last one, at like actually I guess this wasn't the one I did with Marco, but my last all moons run I did was like a few days after my second all moons run, because I was like, that was fun, I want to do this again. So I decided to start at 9 p.m., which is not smart, because by like the 4 or 5 hour mark I was just really waiting for the end. Like, but I can't reset now, so I just had to keep going, and that was pretty painful. But I did get like a 10-minute PB, which is better than nothing. Just hoping for something better, but at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 10-minute PB, I'll take that.
I'm pretty sure my most recent PB, I started at 7 p.m. and it went until like, I think like 5 a.m. It was, yeah, those late night all moons runs are like during that all moons run, like I was really ahead, but after Snow 2 and the jump farming, I had gotten so sweaty. I literally just like I paused my timer and I went into the other room, which was it was this room. It was completely empty because we were in the process of moving it. I just went in this room, turned on the fan, and just stood there. That's all I did for my TA break. Like I got so sweaty after the Snow 2 jump farming.
Yeah, the Snow 2 jump farming is really, really bad. Like, I very much underestimated how bad the Snow 2 jump farming was. Plus, do you use Procon for it?
No, I use Joy-Cons.
Okay, so at least you have it a little bit better. That's good then.
I switched the controllers. I use Procon for most of it, but I use Joy-Cons for jump farm.
I don't have working Joy-Cons, so I literally have to shake the Procon and also mash A and B, and it's horrible. It is I could barely feel my arms after that, but I wanted to do it brakeless, so I pulled through. I think
I remember back when I used to use Procon. Like the first day that I used Joy-Cons in an all moons run, I saved so much time. Like, it's just like Procon is just so much more difficult.
Yeah, it's also like I feel like it's just like when you shake with the Procon, Mario, like I can see Mario jumping like against the ceiling, and he's just like stopping like half the time, even though I'm shaking constantly. He like does not get as many jumps at all, and it's so much worse. I usually just I've been like switching between shaking and then just mashing A and B, because like my arms would get tired and then my fingers would get tired, and it's just so bad. I might just start like splitting jump farm, since that might just be a better idea for Procon.
That's not a good idea. I mean, isn't there like I'm pretty sure there's so many places you can jump farm. Like I don't know how hard the thing where you clip under the Odyssey and do the jump farm there is, but I
don't think it's that hard. I've been thinking of doing just Snow 2 jump farm for a bit, and then doing like the Odyssey jump farm. But I also do feel like there's something nice about just getting it all done with at once at the same time. So I don't know. It's jump farm it's a tough situation.
Yeah, jump farm is rough.
Yeah, for sure.
Cab throw farm though, that's easy. That is that's the one time, or no, that's like one of the 2 times during the all moons run where I get like more than a minute of break.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I do not understand how the cap throw farm works with the dog. Like I jump on it, and then Mario like usually gets like stuck in the weird animation, and then he doesn't cap throw at all. And I like
there's like a thing you need to like it's like you need to kind of angle yourself. If you're on, or if you get caught on the dog, you can kind of just like if you like barely slide off or something, or like if you look towards the wall, it'll give you the animation you need to start like cap throw farming. For me it's like a minute break in the run, because I just kind of run around my house while mashing Y.
Nice. Yeah, that it does seem nice. Although for my almond run so far, I barely had to do any cap throw farming, so I just didn't even bother with the dog. Like I think I just waited until Toadette, and then I just cap through farm next to her for like 200 cap throws, which wasn't that bad. But I do need to learn the dog thing soon, because that is definitely gonna save some time. for the
Yeah.
future. And I want to get sub 9 like pretty, or sub 8 pretty soon. Because I
Sub
have an
8
8.
is
Yeah.
like I'm like obviously I'd say that I'm sub 9 capable. I just haven't done enough runs, which is why I'm 51 minutes off of that goal. But
Yeah.
like sub 8 looks so difficult. Like
Yeah.
I don't
The
like I look at like a lot of my friends who have done all moons, and I think I can only name two of them, or like I can only like or like people that I like regularly hang out with. I can only name two of them that have actually gotten sub 8, and a lot of them have grinded all moons.
yeah. I mean, I
It's
think
not an easy category.
I definitely have an advantage just from movement and stuff. But it is still definitely hard because I haven't really practiced any all moons, so that would
Yeah,
definitely help. Um, but I mean, I did when I got the 825 at like 5 a.m. and I was like thinking about every shitty thing I did in that run and every time loss I had because there was a lot. I was like, you know what, I could probably sub it with like a good run, maybe with a little bit of practice. I need to practice
yeah.
the snow sub area on the stupid beanstalk. I fell off of like in my PB before my current PB. I fell out of that sub area and I was like, dude, that's a huge time save. I'm gonna save so much time next round. And then my next round, I
Yeah,
think I fell 3 times in my
I've
current PB.
I've definitely
Yeah,
had that happen before. That
yeah,
that's like I can't remember how many times I failed it before actually like getting it down.
yeah. It's such a rough sub area because I'm just trying to go fast and then I like don't get my cap bounce or something for whatever reason, and it's just I might just stop cap bouncing to the moon. I might just start just using the flower and slowly make my way
Yeah,
to the secret moon. Because that is it's pretty bad. Okay, what is your like least favorite game in the 1862, and what's your favorite game
Super Mario
in 1862?
Galaxy out of all the games. Super Mario Galaxy, it's not even that it's just like a bad game, it's just that it's really boring. Like there's not like boring per se. It's still fun, but like compared to the other few games, like you have really cool movement. Like in Odyssey, you have like Cappy, and you have all these move sets. Sunshine, you have like the spin jumps and really cool like horizontal movement. 64, you have like stuff like BLJs and stuff. But Galaxy is kind of just long jumps, and that's really your only movement option. I mean, you do have some pretty like good high options. Like you have a really big backflip, and you also can use like two player to have the like or you can have 2B bounces, which makes for a few really cool tricks. But like most of the game just kind of feels like you're going through the motions, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
It's like it's like there are a few levels where the only thing you do is just long jump like for like just like you long jump for like 40 seconds and that's it. That's the star. So it's like I'd say that's probably my least favorite game in the 1862.
yeah,
But like it's just like I think I'm also just like I haven't like implemented a few of the cool strats that have been discovered recently, which there's been a lot like discovered about the game recently, which I might get into, but for now it's probably my least favorite.
yeah. Is there a lot of cutscenes and stuff too in Galaxy,
Oh
like
yeah,
in
yeah.
game and
So the
stuff?
cutscenes in Galaxy One and Galaxy Two, there's a lot of them. Like
Yeah,
it actually helps for like streaming and like because if you have a big chat, it's easy to you have like 40ish seconds between each star, like until you have to do actual gameplay. So it's like reading chat is really easy because you have like
yeah, that's
40
true.
seconds. But
I guess for an 1862, to the
oh
cutscenes are
yeah, for
probably
1862, it's
cutscenes are probably nice.
like it's boring, but it's like good.
Yeah,
It's like a good like thing like because not only that but the grand star cutscenes, which you only get like a few of them, but the grand star cutscenes you get like a minute and a half to do stuff, so that's a good break right there. And then also you have the credits for it, which you can't skip the credits, but you have the credits for it, and it's like 10 minutes. So for a long run, it's really good. Like you want to like, it's a good place to, it's a good like place to put it.
Yeah, the cutscenes I imagine in 1862 aren't too bad because you get to like read chat and it's just like a break from the
Yeah,
run, which is a pretty long run, so that's gotta
yeah.
be relatively helpful. I need to like beat a lot of like every 3D Mario game someday because like that's my goal. It's just complete them once because I've gotten like two. I don't remember what the level was called in Galaxy, but I have 3D All Stars. I got to like the level where you're going down like a big water thing on something.
Big
um
water thing.
yeah, I don't
Um,
know.
I
There's like
couldn't name what that one was.
yeah, I think it's like some sort of race down a big I don't know.
Oh, do you mean Loop de?
Yeah, probably that.
Okay, yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Hey, I
um
mean, I remember my first time playing all these games like years ago. I'm pretty sure Odyssey was the first game I actually completed,
yeah, Odyssey was the
and
first.
then and
uh
then I later played 3D World.
Yeah, well, 3D World was technically my first 3D Mario game, which I think I did. I'm not sure if I 100%ed that in on the Wii U or not. I think I did. Actually, no, I think I unlocked uh, Champions Road and everything, and I could not beat it. I'm pretty sure because I was like 10 or something.
Yeah,
But then I think I got Odyssey after that, and that was like easily like my first 3D Mario speed game. And it's really hard to go to like to try 64 and Sunshine and Galaxy after
yeah,
Odyssey is like your first because the movement is just so much like I don't know, it's a lot less smooth, I feel like.
yeah. I
Um
can say that it was really hard because my first game was Odyssey, and like whenever I got it in December of 2017. So it was like
Same, yeah.
I was hooked on that for like months. Like that's probably out of all the 3D Mario games, that's probably like the one that I've been hooked on the most. Like it's just like there's just so much to do. It took me 2 months to complete, but I wasn't like trying to rush. I was
Yeah.
like,
No, it's a hard game, yeah. There's a lot of moons. So
yeah. Whenever I did 3D World, it was I 100%ed like 3D World once on the Wii U, and I 100%ed it like 5 times on the Switch. But 4 of those being speedruns.
yeah,
Um, I'm sorry.
um I need 100% 3D World and Switch still. I haven't done that yet. I think I beat the game. I tried speedrunning it, but 3D World, I don't know. It's so like easy to like take damage and just lose a ton of
Yeah,
time to losing like a cat suit or something.
yeah.
So
It's
it's
like
hard to get into.
for 3D World, I completely understand like that sentiment. Like it's probably my best game, 3D World. I'm like 380 stars is what I'm basically most known for outside of 1862.
Yeah.
Um, like um for like losing your catsuit is super easy, and that can really hurt your mindset for like unless if there's a backup anywhere, like if there's no backup around where you took damage, it's like it's really hard to like kind of recover that. And like whenever you do, it's like your mental just really drains a lot. So
Yeah.
yeah, completely fair. I like a lot of my friends don't really run the game at all. Like I like the only time like I see my friends really run 3D World is when the like 3D Mario tournaments come around.
Yeah, 3D World is a rough speed game. It's very easy
Absolutely.
to make big mistakes. And also I've never got used to like the crouch boosting, but that's probably just like a timing
Oh,
thing. I'm sure it's not that bad
yeah.
like once you at a top level probably.
I I've never done crouch boosting.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
only
maybe.
reason why is because like one, I'm not good with frame perfect tricks. I'm really bad
Yeah.
at that. And two, like the I can do crash boost. It's just with a different it's just with a different controller setup. And since I've learned the
Mm.
game on like and since I've learned the game for so long, I don't want to have to completely relearn the game with a completely new like button layout just to save. Because really, you'd be surprised. It doesn't save as much time as you think. It's just
Oh,
like
okay.
because all the top runners did it, there's such a big gap between people who do use it and people who don't use it.
Yeah.
Like
How?
it saves time. It saves time, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but it doesn't save as much time as you would think.
How like adopted is crouch boosting in the 3D world speedrunning scene? Because
I
I kind of thought it was like I figured it was like a little similar to like Odyssey's like really hard tech, I guess, that people do. Except I think it might be
yeah.
harder. Um, I don't know. I don't know how
Um
difficult it actually is if I
I'd
really put
say like
the time into it.
I'd say like there's like 25 people who do crouch boosting.
Okay.
Like like for reference, I've never done crouch boosting in my life, and I am top 10 in 3D stars, and I am top 25 in any percent.
Okay, yeah. So it's not like actually as needed as I
It's not
figured as I
needed,
thought it
but
was. Yeah.
yeah, it's not needed. Like people who don't do crouch boosting or people who do crouch boosting are typically like really good with just vectoring, but then like they get really it's like the 3D world mindset is kind of weird. It's like because you're so like vulnerable to losing your cat suit at any moment, like a lot of people wanted to just add crouch boosting just as another trick to put in there, like just something to save more time because like recently I was watching like world record attempts and I was noticing like they were continuing runs that were like kind of behind out of the first few worlds. I'm more of a consistent player, so like I can do like obviously I still make mistakes, but I like kind of like have consistency first, so it's like I'm able to kind of be similarly to where I should be out of World One, but like I'm seeing a lot of people like just leave World One, like top runners leaving World One like 5 to 10 seconds behind.
Yeah. It's
Like crouch boosting is so inconsistent, it's unreal.
yeah. It does look like crazy whenever I see um like Luigi Masters like ILs sometimes. Like I'll watch like a random IL record and it's like he
Oh yeah,
just flies through the stage. It's insane. He just gets so much momentum from it. I
yeah.
imagine RTA it's you get a lot less momentum
It's just like
that
for
easily, but
ILs, it's really easy because like for most of them, it's just like a quick like for like 1-1 is now like you can now complete 1-1 in under 13 seconds, like the entire
that's
stage
crazy,
through crash
yeah.
boosting. Like there's a lot of stages that like it's just the thing is I think crash boosting is more of an IL thing more than a RTA thing. Because most people
Yeah,
who
that makes
do crash
sense.
boosting barely ever do RTA runs. There's a reason why there's not a lot of runs on the leaderboard. It's or like a lot of like sub 130s on the leaderboard. It's just like just no
Yeah.
everyone does IL. Like I know there are like 5 like top IL runners that I've seen that have never done an any percent run. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. But who has record? I assume we you play on. Do you play on Switch? I assume when you do 3D
Yeah,
World. Yeah, because
yeah.
we 3D World is just worse objectively. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Um.
you can't skip the
Uh.
cutscenes, and also just like
Yeah.
vectoring is much more faster than the old Wii U method of cat momentum.
Yeah, and then like the movement just in general,
Oh
like
yeah,
so much faster on Switch. I think like they just speeded
yeah.
up Mario's movement. It feels very like way more uh like fluent. I remember when
There
playing
are there are
Bowser's and
several
stuff.
things that got changed, and it's honestly like it's mainly quality of life. Like you
Yeah,
like for a 380 star run on the Wii U, you could probably expect it to be 30 minutes off of your Switch PB. Like it's that bad.
yeah, that's crazy. I did get into Bowser's Fury a decent for like a month or two when that came out. It's an interesting speed game because of the cycles, so
Yeah,
they kind of mess it up, but it
I've
was fun enough.
I've dabbled in Bowser's Fury a
Yeah,
bit, just not like my main, just not like anything that I would consider like a main speed game.
yeah,
Just
definitely
I
not.
kind of I kind of just like did runs and just let my 3D world knowledge just kind of carry me through that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I never really learned Bowser's Fury. The only thing I learned
Yeah,
about Bowser's Fury was like the any percent route, just so I was actually able to make the cycles. But for 120 shines, for 100 shines, I always just like it's more of like a casual playthrough, just with like fast vector movement.
yeah. I will say it's very satisfying, like the first piece of movement, where you
Oh
just
yeah,
like the 3D world in general. It's satisfying. It's a lot more satisfying than Odyssey, where you just roll to get the most momentum. Because in 3D world,
yeah,
you could just like jump like constantly and just kind of try to vector the jumps. It's a lot more stuff to do when you're just kind of going through a huge open area. Um,
yeah,
like sometimes it's fun, like just to try to like I remember during Bowser's Fury during my casual like playthrough of it. I guess sometimes I would just try to like start like jumping and getting momentum from somewhere and see like how long I can do that for until like there's a bunch of water or something that stops it. Which is like the
yeah,
most random thing to do, but it's just a lot more satisfying movement than just rolling in Odyssey, just shaking your controller.
yeah. Um, like there there's just a lot in 3D World. So like even though that 3D World is super vulnerable to like lose your cat suit and stuff, it's also like the tricks in 3D World I believe are probably some of the coolest. Like a few of
Yeah,
them do use crash boosting that I consider really cool, but like I think I think a lot of the tricks in 3D World are really cool. Like there's this one trick in 380 Star called Plussy Skip. I'm probably known for that trick.
yeah.
I'm
I
I'm
think I
like the
did
only
see
runner that's like
your
oh,
post about Pussy Skip. I think I saw that
oh
the
yeah.
IL. Yeah,
So recently Plessy Skip became 1P viable. It was always a two-player strat like because 380 stars is or because of Plessy Skip like 380 stars allowed two-player because like it was the only stage in the game where you had to collect something and then die and then replay the level again. But Plessy Skip allowed you to not do that, so they allowed two-player in the category. And it's honestly really it's honestly a good thing because there's so much there's so much potential with 2P in that game. Like that was the only thing that was known at the time, but then we found more things with like two player, and it honestly like I don't think the category is like big enough to where we should like to where like we should split it because like there's like not a lot of runs on the leaderboard anyway. It's just more of a thing, I guess. But like
yeah,
the or like Plessy Skip was like it was always 2P, but then I recently found that it was possible one player. It's very inconsistent, which kind of sucks, but like I'm glad that it's possible 1P, but I'm like 100% consistent with the like two-player version. It's just kind of easy to me, if
so
that makes sense.
is that just for 380 star that there's no 2P like leaderboard, I guess, and they just like allow that
Yeah,
one trick, I guess.
so any percent recently found any percent was like you're able to do like a clip with like three players on the world map to where you can save like 2 minutes. So they made a separate leaderboard for it. They didn't like make like a separate like or they didn't make like a tab like 1P or 2P. They made a completely separate board for it, which was kind of weird.
Oh wow, that
Yeah.
is weird.
Like it was any percent item list. The other three categories allow it. For 100%, you have to have it unless if like you want to play for 14 hours. It's
Yeah, that's true because you have to
3
beat every
3D World.
level.
See, there's a difference between 3D World 100% and 3D World True 100%. 3D World True 100% is something that I would never wish on my worst enemy. It is like it just sounds horrendous.
Yeah, you have to play every level. Well, is multiplayer allowed in that, I imagine?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
okay.
well, not for like true 100% is like with the knowledge that that you're gonna do 100% without using any extra controllers. You're just gonna do it like you have to replay every single level 5 times.
Oh,
But
wow.
with normal 100%, you only have to play them like 2 times because you just like you first
Yeah.
play the level, get all the stars, and then you replay the level again. But you have like 3 players in a bubble, kind of.
Yeah,
So
because you need to beat every
for you,
level with
it's
every
all like the
character, so.
category is already unenjoyable. So like the category is already like kind of unenjoyable. So I'm glad they have the like you're able to use multiple controllers because it would be much more unenjoyable if it was just like you having to play every single level with every single character.
Yeah, it's crazy that that's actually required for 100% in 3D worlds, beating every level with like all 4, 5 characters.
Yeah,
Yeah, 5. Like that
it's a,
is
it's actually
does
crazy.
not sound fun.
If if there wasn't a fifth player, you'd just be able, or like a fifth character, you would just be able to do like 380 plus. You just do all the levels with 4 controllers, and that'd be it.
Yeah,
And it'd probably be like 4 hours. But it's because you unlock Rosalina in World 9 that you have to do all this rerouting, and it takes like 7 hours because you have to do all the levels all over again.
yeah, that's kind of crazy that if Rosalina wasn't available, the speedrun would be like multiple hours shorter.
I
Um,
am kind of glad I am kind of glad that happened because like if you were only like if you only needed to go through once or like if you only needed to do like every single level once, they'd probably just not even have 380 star. They just have that, which kind of sucks. I like 380 stars a lot. Like it is probably my second favorite category behind 1862.
that's crazy to have that as your number one category.
I've been told I'm crazy for that one, but like here's the thing, every single time I've done it, I've had such a fun time. Like even though my times weren't like the greatest for all of the like category like for all the times I've done it, my times have never been the greatest, but I just have so many memories that I just hold. Like there's no other run that I've had that or like there's no other run that has given me like a lot more like happiness than like it's kind of weird. It's like 1862 is really painful, but like it's also like where most of like the fun memories come from, if that makes sense. Because it's such a long run, and because I'm doing it with like a bunch of people in the voice call, it's just like I'm just cracking jokes for like 38 hours. It's really fun.
Yeah, like it does sound like if you knew all the games and how to play them, because I mean I definitely don't. Um, then I imagine it would be fun to do like once or twice a year. How often do you do them?
I think I tried to do them like 2 times a year, but
Okay.
I kind of was in a rut last year, so I only did one, or I only attempted one, and I didn't finish it because that time I wasn't having fun. See, I cracked the code to finishing 1862s, and it's to not care about the times you get. I will say
Yeah.
this: starting out that Odyssey 40 minutes behind my PB, that could have been detrimental to my mental like for the rest of the run, but I held it together. I held it
Yeah.
together. It was actually like and then also like for 64, my PB is a 209. So you'd imagine my time wouldn't be that bad, right? In my PB, I got a 248, 40 minutes off my
Wow.
PB.
Yeah,
That was
that's
the worst. That was the worst one.
yeah, that sounds pretty rough.
It was
If
rough, but I surprisingly brought it back. Like at that point I was like, so for the 602 portion, it's basically the 1862 without 3D World or Odyssey. For the 602 portion, I had previously gotten a sub day, and because I had lost like 20 minutes in 64, I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna get a sub day. But surprisingly, because of my quick recovery and like my good mental during or like my attitude during it being like, okay, I don't really care that much, like I'm just here to have a good time. I actually surprisingly brought it back and got like my second best like Galaxy 120 time. A really surprisingly good Sunshine for how little I practiced, and then I PB'd Super Mario Galaxy 2 by 3 minutes.
Oh,
So I
nice.
surprisingly brought it back and got sub day for 602.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. Um, I will say if I was gonna do a 602 or an 1862, I'd probably only do it once. I'd like to believe,
Fair.
and then I probably wouldn't know how bad all the exits are because I don't have any experience in any of the games. So it might
Yeah,
not
fair.
affect me the times,
Yeah.
which is nice. Don't
You
I don't know if I'll ever do a 602 though, because I really like. Again, I haven't completed like any 3D Mario game except 3D World and
yeah,
Odyssey.
fair.
So like it's something like that. The idea of completing one sounds awesome. Like it would definitely be something I'd want to do someday. But I don't know if I'll ever get to the point in the games where I will be able to do that in less than a week or something.
Yeah. Like we recently had our biggest 602 race ever with the 10th anniversary. Over like 100 people signed up, and we had over 80 finishers.
That's
Like
crazy.
that's our biggest. That was like double our biggest race at that point. Like it was probably one of the biggest 602 races to ever happen. Unfortunately, a lot of the top runners like were dealing with like really bad burnout, so it was
Yeah,
like like a lot more of the top runners had not completed the 602. Like the like just like it feels kind of weird because I've quit a 602 one time. But like I've I've quit a 602 one time. I kind of felt defeated, but I feel like for most of the people that had burnout, they were like, okay, I'm kind of glad I didn't finish it because it was like the run was just getting worse and worse, and it's like you don't want to do that for another like 6 hours. Like you just
yeah,
want to just kind of quit. It's like obviously it sucks to not be able to finish, but it's completely understandable. I didn't really
yes.
go for a time. In fact, I didn't even PB 602. I just got sub day. My PB is still like my time from the December race last year, but I'm actually like I'm happy I finished in general. Like even if I had reset in Odyssey, I'm just happy that I finished like the 602. It is a hard run. Like most people also, sorry, I got off track. I was gonna make the point that like most people who did that race were only going to do one and just one ever, and that's fine. Like
Yeah,
like like one of my friends completed it in like I think 40 hours. Like
that's insane. Yeah.
they had only like they are really good at Galaxy. In fact, they have held many Galaxy world records, and they're pretty good at G2 as well. But they had never played 64 in Sunshine until just a week before the race. So
Yeah.
it was very intense, but hey, they got through it.
That's like yeah, that's like kind of what I imagine it would be like for me, except even worse because I haven't played. I've
Yeah,
never played Galaxy 2, and I've only played Galaxy for a couple hours, so I would probably be even worse than that because 3D World and Odyssey, the two Mario games I have played, are the only ones that aren't in the 602.
yeah. So
So
yeah, like I like as someone who grew up on 3D World, that's definitely like it's definitely a funny thing, like because 602 is the only category that gets regularly raised. That's 100% category. It's like all the other ones are
yeah,
any percent, which means like Odyssey's in like sandbox any percent and 540. But 3D World is only in 540. That's the only game where I actually get some leverage. Like in any race, there's just because no one plays 3D World. There's no like categories to support it, and we're not gonna like we've never raced 1862. That's a thing that you're supposed to
yeah,
do on your own. In fact, I've already said that I'm gonna be done doing 1862s during the 602 race. If I ever do an 1862 again, it's gonna be like just like a one-off thing, which I think that should be how it is. Although there has been a big spike in like popularity for it, so I think maybe one day we might set up a race for it, but not like an official one with like a stat stream and
yeah.
everything. Just one that like people can do if they want to try at
Yeah,
it.
I can kind of understand why you would enjoy the 1862 since like 3D World and Odyssey were like the first games kind of you
Yeah.
played. I honestly I'm trying to think. If I ever did a 602, there's a chance I would also turn into an 1862 just because 3D
Oh,
again 3D
really?
World, maybe because I mean 3D World and Odyssey like are the two games I've played, so I feel like it would
Yeah.
help my mentality if I could just have those in there too.
My first
Um,
602 was a 982, which is all the games minus Odyssey. I
yeah,
had done 3 World after it because there is a category for 982. Like like with my past 1862, I've hit like sixth place for that, and it's very possible I could get second. There's no way I can get world record though. There's just no way. World record is too cracked, but like second place is surprisingly not as hard as I thought it was like a few years ago.
who
But
has record for 1862?
record, it's Odd Me.
Okay, that makes sense. That's what I figured.
Yeah, see, Odd Me has the world record in every single multi Mario category. That like that like has like 3D Mario stuff and isn't like the main board marathons. Actually,
Yeah.
Odd Me had world record for the SMS main board marathon, but for like the Sunshine main board
Wow.
marathon. But for all the multi Mario categories, like for 982, for like all of those, all the main six, like 602, 1120, 1862, 540, just all that stuff. It's like he has world record for all of it, and by a long shot. It's just no one's been able to get that close to him. He's too. And the thing is that there are people that are close to him in estimate, but just no one has the consistency that he has to play for that
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, Oddme is kind of crazy. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy thinking about how like cracked Oddme is at the marathons.
Oh
Just
yeah.
runs in general. Because he's really good at like every game pretty much individually too. Like he has
Yeah.
Odyssey, he has like good time in Sunshine, good time in Galaxy, um,
Like
good
I
time in
think
everything. So
out of all the games, he hasn't played 3D World like he hasn't played 3D World that much at all, but he still has a really really good time. Like he barely played 3D World and has me bopped in any percent by a few seconds, which
yeah,
like
that's crazy.
I've been playing this game like constantly for 3 years. Like it's kind of funny because like it only really happens when like the 3D Mario tournaments come around. Like when Omni's like is like required to play 3D World, I'll get like a huge lead on him because I play the game. I'll probably like like whenever I come to a 3D World run, I'll probably like get like a better time, and then he'll just come back for a few days and then bop me right back. It's kind of
Yeah,
funny. It's been a thing for like the past few years. Oddme's just like kind of been able to do that.
yeah, that's pretty funny. Um, yeah, honestly, I think, and I said this recently. I think you were in my chat, but I think what's more likely than me ever doing a 602 is Odyssey mainboard marathon, because
Oh yeah,
yeah, I decided I think I want to try that like a week before the next 3D Mario game comes out, just to really like hate Odyssey going into the next 3D Mario game to make that
no,
better.
because
Yeah.
that's so real. Because I remember doing my 3D World mainboard marathon, and like here's the thing, I had so much fun. I had so much fun. The entire 18 hours was so much fun, and then I died in Champions Road, and I'm like, okay, I want to be done now. Like
Like only one death in Champions Road.
yeah. It was one death at the very end. See,
Oh,
something
okay.
that's like something that's like that I've had for like a while now is like I'm very consistent at Champions Road, which Champions Road
Okay.
is like the darker side of
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm really consistent at that. I'm really consistent at all the strats I do. I can basically do it perfectly like every single time in a run. I don't even get really stressed out about it anymore. But that run, I was very tired. It was 18 hours in, so fair enough.
Yeah.
But like I've like 18 hours in to a 3D World run, I kind of lose focus and just kind of go through the motions, which kind of like it kind of it kind of like threw me off. It kind of like threw me off guard whenever like I died in Champions Road and that.
Yeah.
It was like damn. Like
Yeah, no,
like
that makes sense.
it was also at the very end of the run too, so it was kind of disappointing, but it was fine. It was fun.
Yeah,
I
whenever
I plan
you
to do it again. Unfortunately, my times in that were pretty bad. In fact, my 380 start time was 18 minutes off of my PB, and
mm,
that was probably one of the better ones. Like that, most of my times were not that good, so I think I might come back one day for a sub 17 time,
nice.
which would be world
Yeah.
record by a lot. I already have the world record, but like it would drop the world record by like an hour.
So for a true or for a main board marathon for 30-year-old is what is that? Just any
It's
percent,
any
380
percent
stars,
itemless, or any
itemless.
percent itemless, 243 star, 380, and 100%.
Okay, wait, when does 243 star end?
Oh, 243
Uh,
star. It's like getting all of the stars in like worlds 1 through 8. It's basically just like
okay.
any percent, but kind of 100%, if that makes sense.
Okay, so it's like kind of like any percent no post game in Odyssey, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say so.
Which is a run that I might actually look into because we made this double any percent CE
Oh,
recently
right, I
in
saw that.
Odyssey, where you get double the
That looks
moons in every
fun.
kingdom. It's low key a fun category. They need to add it to the leaderboards. They still haven't, and
Yeah.
I'm really trying to advocate for it because it's better than a lot of CEs in my opinion.
When I first saw
Um,
double any percent, I was like, okay, do you just do like two any percent no resets in a row? But then
yeah, that's what everyone
I,
thinks.
yeah, like I mean, to be fair, I mean those work. It really does. Like as a multi Mario runner, you do or like as a multi Mario runner, like because of those big races where you need to like you kind of just want to. You're not really going for a time. You're trying to build your consistency throughout that like week or or like those few weeks before the race starts. You need to build your consistency. So doing those like multi-game runs, like sometimes I'll just like make splits for just 2 games and just those 2 games in a row. It's very arbitrary, but like it's fun to do it because like it means you get practice with like doing no resets, which no resets are probably like one of the most important things to do in multi Mario. It's like you're not always gonna get that perfect run in like all of the games every single time you do it. It's like you gotta you gotta know like you gotta be really good with no resets. Like if something goes wrong, you gotta be able to pull it back, or else it's not gonna recover.
Yeah. The funny thing with double 90% too is like when I was first doing it, I got like a 158 or something, which is like literally double my any percent PV.
Yeah.
So like I could like so there was like I think there was one or two people in my chat that were like that literally thought that's what double any percent was, and I was like, dude, it says I have the world record, and like I do not have the world record for doing two any percent runs back to back. I'm sure Tyrone has gotten like what would that be like a 152 or 50, probably
Yeah.
like a 153 is probably double
Tyron
any
is
percent record.
insane.
Yeah,
Like, here's the thing. So we have this category called Sandbox any percent. It's Odyssey any percent, Sunshine any percent, and 6470 star. He's good at 2 of those categories. So I'm very
yeah,
scared for if he boots up Sunshine, it might be over. Like
yeah.
like obviously like getting good to the level of Odd Man Sunshine would be really rough, but he has the consistency in Odyssey to kind of make up for that. And like now he's like really he that doesn't he have like a 52 and 70 now? I forgot, but
I'm not
like
sure to be honest. I haven't been keeping up
yeah,
enough with his 64 endeavors. Uh,
fair enough. But like in short, like he's really good at those 2 games now, and
yeah,
it's kind of scary to see. Like
Tyron is scary.
because of
Yeah,
his scale consistency, he would be very good at sandbox 90%.
yeah, probably, dude. His like whenever someone puts like the 56 command or something in his chat, and I just see like 97 56s,
Yeah,
and I'm like, how do you get 97 56s? Like he's
it's like
literally almost had every different 56 that you can have. Like he had a like every 56 5x, every 56 4x, every 56 3x. It's crazy.
I mean, he's just been playing for so long. It's like
Yeah.
he's been playing for so long. It's to the point where like an Odyssey 80% run is just kind of like it's just kind of like a thing that he can do. It's like he's practiced the tricks so much that like at this point it's not like it's just like at this point it's so easy to just finish a run that's like under
Yeah.
56 because like even if he goes for like just a little more consistency, like he could like that means he could just consistently pump out like 56s. It's wild.
Yeah.
Like it's like and also when it becomes your job to just do Odyssey 80% all day, it's like you've been doing it for so long that you just kind of like I don't remember the last time that Tyron has ever gotten over an hour in any
Oh
percent.
yeah,
He just
it must have been
like
so long, like probably
it has to have been
years.
years at this point,
Yeah.
and he's just still able to just do them. Like every single person that I know that does like or like has gotten sub hour in Odyssey 100%, which is like two. I know Rodeo and Oddme.
And
Those
me.
two like oh and you, my bad. I meant like multi Mario runners.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Sorry.
I get it.
Like out of those two, like there are a few people closer to sub hour, like Kyle, Silo, people like that.
Yeah.
But like for like sub hour, it's really like I've never seen one of those runners get another sub hour ever. Actually, no, Rodeo got like a sub hour, but it's during like actual attempts. I've never seen them do it in a multi Mario run. So like
Oh yeah,
consistent
that'd be
sub hours
crazy.
are just not a thing that happens.
Yeah, consistent sub hours like that would be like even 58 runners in a multi Mario run probably wouldn't get a sub hour. Like
Yeah,
you have to have a 57 or a 56, and at that point like all those runners devote so much of their time to Odyssey that most of them only do Odyssey. But there are like a
yeah,
couple like Lucid and Tyrone who've been dabbling in 64 and stuff, so
yeah,
it's kind of insane how in cracked Tyrone is at Odyssey, and now it's 64 too. Like it's
yeah. I saw
it's
Lucid get
scary.
really good at 64.
Yeah, he
Like
did, I think.
Lucid now has a 52, and that's also kind of scary. Like because he's also a 56 runner as well. It's like he would do really good in that as well.
Yeah,
Um, like it's so weird because here's the thing. Like whenever Oddme got the sandbox 90% world record, he claimed it was dead. Like he claimed it was dead, and he still has it. So technically, yeah. But like we've had runners get closer to that. But like in that run, Oddme got a 100 in Odyssey, which to be fair is really good. It's really good for
that's very good for
for
Oddme to get. Yeah,
Oddme. Um, and then he got like really close to his PBs in the other two games as well. Like it was probably like I mean he wasn't wrong. I mean it's not dead, but it's like it's it's gonna be pretty damn hard to beat. Like
yeah,
um another runner, JJSRL, who is like the Sunshine world record holder and also or former world record holder and also like he's really good at 6470 star. He got into Odyssey and now has like a 104. He is able to beat the record, but he has to play like within 2 minutes off of PBs, and that's just something that it, like it's so hard. Like that means like one his RTA time is like 1 minute off of the world record, but like it's just so hard to do. It's like
yeah.
it's
Playing
so
playing
hard to
that
play to the
well.
level of consistency as Omni does. It's insane.
Yeah, it's so hard to play for like that well for so long. Even when I'm doing like darker, which is like 3 hour category, like it took me a while to be able to like still be playing well 3 hours in. Um,
Yeah,
and that was like a few months ago. Now I can pretty much do a darker run and not have too much of a problem later in the game, unless I'm really
yeah.
tired. But like
That's
all moons
also
is
some.
and stuff is tricky, and then when you play like over 15 hours, it obviously gets kind of crazy. So
I think like time. I'll just call it time tolerance. I think time. Like I'm very very good, or I quickly improved at time tolerance because I went from like my longest runs were like 3 hours, and then like starting 2022, like I did my first 1862. Like I went from
yeah,
like barely being able to do like 2 hours to being able to do a 60-hour speed run. Like I've like now if I like now like if I really wanted to, and all moons wouldn't be that hard. It would just be like another day, you know.
yeah, yeah, that's kind of crazy. How do you is there like ever like time problems like with IRL stuff that like show up
Um,
for when you're gonna do 1862?
For IRL stuff, not really. I kind of like because in 1862 is a huge time commitment. I make sure to
Yeah.
plan that like very far in advance.
Yeah, that makes
Like
sense.
I make sure to like spell it out. Hey, I'm doing this on this day, which I mean, my parents are typically fine with it. So it's like
Yeah.
if there's ever any plans, I just like if if there's ever any plans that are like if it's like a day or two, I'll just like kind of move it because it's like not that big of a deal. But if it's like, but like I make sure to say, hey, I'm not doing like I can't go to this if it's like a trip for like a week. If there,
Yeah.
I don't think that's ever happened before, but like typically my parents are pretty good about that. Like I tell them a
That's
date
good.
that I say, hey, I'm doing this on this day. There's nothing I can do about it, so just schedule around that. Which I mean, I I'm pretty sure like they've gotten really close to a lot of them. Like I think there's been like four 602 races where we had gone on a trip and like I came back just a few days before. Even the December race last year, we went on a trip for like 5 days, came back, and like the next day was the 602. It was like I had to do all my de-rusting and hope that I didn't get too rusty over the 5 days I was gone.
Yeah. This is random, but are those Mario 602 posters in the background, or is it
Oh
Mario
yeah, they
Bros?
are.
Oh, that's
They're
sick.
like you have the 64 one, the Galaxy one, the Sunshine one, and the Galaxy 2 one.
That's
Um,
awesome.
Yeah, they
Who
were made
made those?
recently. Puffy made them. He's a really good artist. Like I'm honestly, so I originally had like the 3D All Stars posters in like my background,
Yeah.
but then Puffy made those, and I'm like, okay, I gotta use those. Like it's just like it's cool that like the Multi Mario brand has gotten so much bigger now. Like and like Puffy is probably like you have like Puffy and Frazina who are probably probably like the best artists for like multi Mario or like not like obviously that was objective. I meant like they consistently make work of like
Yeah.
multi Mario stuff. It's like I like the posters are like really cool and like there's been a lot of stuff that like Puffy and Frazino have made for like just like kind of promotion because like they're like this like because Multi Mario is kind of weird. It's like for all of the other games, you kind of have a logo to go off of because like Nintendo made the logo. You can just slap that on a poster, but you never really had a 602 logo. But now they're like
Yeah.
actually making stuff, and like there was like we even considered making like merchandise because like or like the thing is I don't think you could make like Odyssey merchandise or because like I think there'd be like some legal trouble there. But
Yeah,
for like Multi
probably.
Mario, it's like these were fan made like logos. It's like you can just like I think merchandise for like Multi Mario would actually go kind of hard.
Yeah, that'd be kind of sick. Just like, especially like if I was at Pace and people were just walking around with multi
Oh
Mario
hell yeah!
merch
That
on. That'd be
I was I
sick.
was I was thinking about getting like a multi Mario like kind of like sweatshirt. Like it have the logo on the front and then on the back it have like my Twitch name and then like my like 602 PB. I think that'd be kind of
Yeah,
cool. But then it
that'd
would
be cool.
also get obsoleted down the line. So
Yeah, the problem with like a sweatshirt like that, at least for me, would be I really wouldn't be able to wear it outside of my home and Pace because
fair.
I'm not trying to walk around with my Twitch
Oh
username
yeah,
on my
no.
back on the streets, you know? That would
Well, I
be,
mean, I don't think I'd put
yeah,
my own Twitch name on there. I'd probably just put like multi Mario events because that's where like the stat
yeah,
stream is. I'd probably just do that, but I think I think it'd be like really cool. Also, like multi Mario has recently been getting like really big because you've had a lot of like a lot of partnered streamers have started doing it, like Jay, and recently partnered Hex Speedruns. You've had like just a lot of like because like like originally multi Mario was kind of like a smaller thing, but like a lot more people just like love playing, a bunch of like different Mario games and doing it back to back. Like probably one of the bigger influences was Jay doing like he was doing like I had to plan my 1862 like months in advance. He did like a week straight of just 1862 attempts. Like it's a rough category if you're trying to get a good time.
Yeah,
Like like he
it
had to
is
do that for
hard.
like Jay and Silo both did like 1862 recently. Jay reset like deep into the run at least 5 times, and Silo had done it once, like 20 hours in. So
That's
it's
crazy.
it's so rough. Like the thing is with like a run like Odyssey All Moons, it's like if you're 5 hours in and you're already feeling tired, it's like there's only 5 hours to go. But with an 1862, like if you're feeling it 20 hours in, there's still 10 hours to go. You still have like that's more than just one extra
Yeah,
game. Like
it's
you got to get
crazy.
through all of that. But they did it sleepless. I didn't do mine sleepless. Mine is just like it's just like doing it sleepless is so difficult, and like every single time I see another person do it sleepless, I get a little more scared about whenever I plan to do it sleepless. I don't have a date or anything, but I'm building up my tolerance to do RTA runs,
Yeah.
which is why I want to do an SMO MBM. Like I think that'd be kind of fun. Just like,
Yes.
but it would definitely be because here's the thing, like with something I've done a Galaxy 2 mainboard marathon, which was about 24 hours, but it wasn't that bad because it, it wasn't that bad because like I get credits breaks. I get like in the form of a non like in the form of an RTA run, I don't really get many like I get a lot of breaks like because you have Grand Star cutscenes. I have a million of those, and those are like a minute long. I have I have the credits breaks, which are like 5 minutes each. You get three of those throughout the whole thing. But for Odyssey, it's like there's like barely any breaks throughout the entire thing. It's like
Yeah.
you gotta like you're basically on a controller for most of the run. Like I'd say like for Odyssey 100%, you're able to kind of autopilot the coin section, but that still doesn't mean you can't take off. Like you can't just straight up take off the controller. It's basically like the only things I can think of are jump farm, and if you're to do like letter glitch for jump rope, you can just kind of stand there and you get a free minute. But like Odyssey and BM is just so like it looks super daunting, is how I'll put it.
Yeah. Odyssey. The thing with the Odyssey is like all the cutscenes are in base game pretty much. So
Yeah,
once you get past base game, there really is like not much. There's not much downtime. Like there's I guess the boss rematches like which isn't really downtime except for the ruined one, which is kind of nice to have at the end of
yeah,
the run. And then there's Toadette, which is just more boring than downtime because you still
yeah.
kind of have to
Like
be there.
for Toadette, I probably like if I were to ever do an SM or like if like whenever I do an SMO I'm probably not gonna do like the camera stuff just for an opportunity to have another break. Just like it's
Yeah,
like with like it's just like so it's just like there's so little time for SMO or like there's so little time in SMO to have a break. It's probably like out of all the games, it's probably the worst contender. Actually, no, I'd say 64 is worse. You only get the intro cutscene every time. Like,
yeah. When I do a
but
main board marathon, I'll probably like just lay on my bed's like right next to my TV, so I'll probably just lay on my bed when I do Toadette, just so I can like kind of do something. Because I'd be worried about like leaving like the room because I don't know Toadette. I feel like knowing me, I would find a way to mess up the Toadette inputs and like
yeah,
fucking end up not talking to Toadette at all, and I wouldn't even notice, which would be a big time
yeah.
loss. Um, but yeah, it's Odyssey is
I have
once you get the
I have
post game,
earbuds in, so
it's a
like from
lot.
I always use earbuds for my run. So like even when I'm not in my room, I can still hear what's going on. Like if I were to do
Yeah.
Toadette, I would notice when something's wrong. If I don't hear the yeah no 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 something like that.
Yeah, for my earbuds are always connected to my computer, and then I just have my game audio at like 5 so I can like hear it a little bit. So I would just hear like the VC or something. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we are at the 1 hour and 9 minute mark now, so we'll talk a little bit about pace before we
All
end.
right.
Um, obviously I met you at pace last summer 2023, and that was a
Yeah.
very fun time. I think my first
That was awesome.
impression yeah I think my first impression of you was I'm pretty sure we were driving back to and back from bowling, and we talked about like
Oh,
multi Mario and
that was
stuff.
fun. I
Yeah.
remember. I think I think I caught a stray with Buster Doggy and VGR by saying I thought the leaderboard should have been merged. I definitely caught a stray there, but it was
Yeah.
like I obviously now I don't think that, but like that I definitely caught a stray there. But yeah, that was really fun talking about that. It was really fun talking about that. Or like it was really fun. Or,
Yeah.
it was really fun like talking with you, like to and from.
Yeah, that was a fun car ride. Who was driving? Was that Agron
It was
or
Mark Alarm.
Mark Alarm? That's right. I forgot about Mark Alarm, dude. I want to see him again sometime. He was like
Bro,
he was
Mark Alarm
sick.
is the goat.
Yeah.
I he's done an 1862 of his own. Like he doesn't play it like a lot. He's done a few 602s and he did an 1862. And it was like 70 hours. So it was actually like he's just like I think he's really cool. And also like he
Yeah.
manages like this sheet that we do. He's really good at Google Sheets and he manages the sheet that we do and he made the really like horribly bad like old process that we had and just completely made a new one that makes it so much easier.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty sick. I didn't realize how involved he was in the multi Mario scene.
Yeah, he
But
like for Google Sheets like or like for that sheet in particular, it makes it really really easy to just like you just plug someone's name in and just all their times and then like it's so easy from there. And there's also like so many cool stats that you can look on like how like like the like you can see like the total like it's just a bunch of like arbitrary things like you can just see like the total like amount of time that everyone's sum of PBs combined and like there's also like an individual leaderboard so like if you're really good at one game there's like an individual leaderboard for that category. It only shows the any percent categories and the 100% categories but like for like let's say you're really good at 3D World there'd be an individual leaderboard for like and then you could have like and then your name would be at the top rather than like all the other leaderboards for the other games where you'd be closer to
yeah.
the bottom. It's it's really cool just to like see and it's like I guess you could just look at the leaderboard at that point but it's just like all the multi Mario runners just as like a whole like
Yeah, that's sick.
it I honestly really like it and Mark Alarm did a very good job with it. It looks really cool.
Yeah. Shout outs to Mark Alarm. Maybe he'll be on a future episode of the podcast.
Let's
Foreshadowing
go.
foreshadowing to the guests. He was one of the people interested, so he will be on an episode at some point.
Let's go.
So for anyone watching this far in the podcast, you get the little sneak peek at a future episode. Not the next episode though. Like, I'm gonna try, like I said in the last episode, I'm doing a Odyssey runner and then more broader multi Mario or different speed game runner like every other episode pretty much. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, regarding pace, when is the next speedrunning event? Do you think for you or the next pace? What's the plan?
I've actually been split. Recently GDQ happened, and basically I really only go to the events
Yeah,
where all the multi Mario runners go, and it seemed like this time around the multi Mario scene at GDQ was pretty big. Or no, it's actually more the Galaxy runner scene, but Galaxy is like half of the games in the 602, so
yeah,
it's
true.
basically multi Mario. But the multi Mario scene at GDQ this time around, like obviously it was big at Pace like this time. So if everyone plans to go to Pace again, although some people have been like interested in trying GDQ instead. So in the case that like everyone wants to go to GDQ rather than Pace, I'll probably just go to GDQ. But
Mm,
if all the multi Marios are going to be going to Pace, I'll be there in summer of 2025.
that'd be pretty cool. Yeah,
I've already made plans. Like I've already like made plans. I'm like, okay, I am going to a speedrunning event in 2025. Like that is happening.
yeah,
100%.
that's sick. Yeah, it's
So
the good thing about multi Mario runners is they seem to like be there seems to be a pretty good amount of them present at least at every pace, and I imagine at pretty much every speedrunning event, at least GDQ
yeah,
and
I,
pace.
w- I would say
Um,
that like this past like summer pace is probably going to be the biggest it gets, just because like next time or like it's just because like next time, like a lot of people are getting burnt out from multi Mario, so it's like obviously we still have our friend group and stuff, but like a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
people are
true.
getting burnt out of multi Mario just because they've been doing it for so long. Like it's hard to play. It's hard to play 4 games and like do that consistently for like the amount of years that people have done it. Like we
Yeah.
even have people who've been doing it for like the better part of 8 years. Like it's just it's getting to a point where a lot of people are getting burnt out, and like we're kind of entering like a new era, if that makes sense. It's kind of like the transition
Yeah,
from
no.
like I don't know why, but the 10th anniversary just like kind of went from old to new, if that makes sense. It
Yeah,
kind of
I
feels like
mean,
that.
it's a fitting end, and I think a lot of people have seen it as like a good time to kind of stop consistently doing them. I know I saw King J and the Hex
Yeah,
both said this was going to be their last one for a while, probably, and
yeah.
some other ones. And those are some pretty big names. I'm pretty sure in the multi-Mario community, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. Also,
Um,
I know there's other top runners like Exprelli and Jukatox who both said
yeah,
that they were going to like not, or they were definitely missing out, or they were definitely going to miss out on the winter one. Like a lot of people just kind of want to like. The reason why is because like for derusting, it's like you kind of want to like stay close to your PVs, but because like once everyone got home from pace, they weren't wanting to really do Mario at all. In fact, I had been doing Mario for the better part of like 6 months at that point because I started so early. I That is a mistake and a half. I started so early that I got burnt out like around June. I
yeah,
got burnt out around June, and then like that was also when like all the other runners came home from pace, and like they were also not wanting to play. So it just kind of created like it just kind of like I'd say like the last week before the 602, like kind like some of the burnout went away because like the euphoria of the 602 happening in like just a week, but then it happened. A lot of people dropped. It was like like a lot of the more top runners dropped. And then a lot of people didn't even like PB the 602, which you're not required to PB the 602. It's just like fun race. So a
yeah.
lot of
It's
people finish
always nice, probably.
just for the fun of it. Like, and then we have people who really popped off. Like you have Fizz 64 and you have Tackle Shift 8 who both like really destroyed their 602 PBs and like almost like completely like they almost completely wiped their estimate clean. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So for GDQ or Pace, are you planning on submitting anything? Because I personally think you should submit 1862. Like get that on
Really,
stage, that'd be
really, an
pretty fire.
1862 on stage. That would
Yeah,
be that
I'm
would that
sh-
would that'd be pretty cool. Except for the fact that it would get rejected almost immediately.
yeah, I'm sure they'll
Because
accept a 20.
here's the thing: the only time that an 1862 has been shown off in any form of marathon event is a really really longathon when King J had done it, or like Joey did it.
Oh wow, yeah,
Joey did it, and he reset 31 hours in. So it was like that's the only time that Joey's ever reset in 1862. But like it's kind
yeah,
of it's kind of funny. I'd say it's like, and the thing is like you just can't like consistent. You can't put a consistent time on there. Like it's really funny. Like you can't really like consist or you
yeah,
can't like do an 1862 and say like, oh, I'm going to get around this time. And
yeah.
if it
To
was
go,
like around this time, it's like in the span of like 2 to 3 hours. Like you got to have a whole 2 to 3 hour like span.
yeah, they would
Like
have to like be ready to cancel the next thing on the schedule if it went on for too
yeah,
long. Yeah, no,
or like add something to the schedule because there's always the possibility of just like popping off. But like you also have to like it's just so you can't rely on a run that's that long. It's just kind of like but like
yeah,
anyway
definitely.
like I am I do want to submit something to I don't know if I'll submit it to SGQ because like GDQ is like really strict,
Yeah,
so
really hard to get
I'll
into.
submit it, but I'm not gonna have any hopes of getting in. But I definitely want to submit something to Pace.
Yeah, that'd be
I
cool.
I have a few games in mind, but I haven't like actually learned them yet, so I'm kind of just gonna be kind of on crunch time, if that makes
Well,
sense.
how long is 380 stars ever
Oh, okay, yeah. So 380 stars is one of the ones I'll be doing, but it
Yeah,
has been
because you
shown
could
off at
submit
a
that.
pace event before. I don't know if they do it again, but like
They might. I mean, they
380
sure they
is
would.
380 is 3.5 hours long for me.
Yeah,
I'd say like the tech that I do could probably be more interesting because like the time they did it before, it was Joey again that showed it off at pace. It was like
Yeah.
it was like at 2 in the morning. It was really it. Sometimes I go over and rewatch that VOD because it's extremely funny. But like, I'm gonna submit 380, but because you're able to submit 5, I'm not only gonna submit 380. I'm gonna submit like I'll also like I might submit like I don't know if I want to submit any percent or like I might submit item list because I'm well actually no. Freezy did that Freezy did that this time.
Yeah, he
I
got a
might
PB too. It was sick. I was there.
oh
It was
yeah
pretty
like
cool.
okay I'm gonna say that Freezy is like really goated at item lists. Like his PB is better than than mine is. Like it's
Yeah.
like I was really sad that it was later at night because I missed it. Like it was, but like getting a like it it's always really cool when you like or it's kind of like cool whenever like you kind of miss your PB right before pace and then you PB during the event. Like that's crazy. That's got
Yeah,
to feel like some main character stuff.
it's sick. And Freezy's such a good person for that to happen to, because he's like such a nice person. Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
he's so easy to talk to. I didn't really know much about Freezy, and then I think last fall pace, I just like we had like a long conversation, and it was like pretty sick. Like I was only there for a day. I think he was in the 16 person, one person per split relay that I did last fall, or 14
Oh,
person. We couldn't even get 16 people. 14 person. I think he did like Cloud Kingdom or something. But yeah,
uh,
he's a really cool guy.
yeah. I always make sure to stop by his streams because like he's like the one exception of like he actually runs 3D World like pretty consistently. So like I always make sure to stop by.
Yeah.
And he's trying to build consistency, and he said he might run 380 soon, which I'm very hyped about. But yeah, like it's really cool.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, I think we are just about at time here. If there's anything that you want to plug, feel free to go ahead.
Um, my first off, if you are interested in joining any multi Mario races, please join the multi Mario Discord. We host races like not just the 602. We host the 602 race like biannually, but we also have a bunch of other fun races too with like any percent. We like multi Mario stuff. Just like probably like find the multi Mario leaderboard and there's like a bunch of stuff you can find there. Like it's really fun.
Yeah.
We're it's like a really supportive community. We always make sure that like there's help for any section of any game you want. Like we can help you with all that. I guess for myself, follow me Irene verse. For like just it's Irene verse basically everywhere.
Yeah. Do you have a YouTube too?
Oh yeah, I have a YouTube.
All right.
I barely post on it, but
Okay.
yeah, I got one.
Yeah.
It's
And obviously Twitch and Twitter, I believe.
yeah.
I have the Twitch on the layout, of course. Just like I did in episode 1. So definitely make sure to go follow Irene on that for more cool 3D World and multi Mario stuff. So yeah, very, very cool person. But yeah, that's gonna pretty much wrap it up. Thank you everyone for watching episode 2 of Speed Talk. I have a pretty good guest in the Odyssey community for episode 3 that I did see one comment for on episode 1 that they wanted him, and I happened to have him. So feel free to go scour episode 1 comments and figure out who that might be. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching episode 2 of Speed Talk. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here, Irene.
Thank you too. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Yep, no problem. All right, see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.